So, South Africa has just finished giving evidence at the International Court of Justice against the State of Israel, and all I really have to say in response to South Africa is that Israel is 100% guilty of committing the crime of genocide, and what South Africa did at the ICJ was truly magnificent, because not only did they pick apart Israel's defences of saying, oh, we're just defending ourselves because an occupying power can't defend itself, and they also masterfully picked apart the genocidal excuses that you've probably heard on this app of people saying, well, Israel actually gave them orders to leave and they told them to go to safe zones, because as South Africa said, not only have the safe zones been bombed since, but also the fact that the orders were given to people with only 24 hours to execute them. And they went into the explanations of why Israel's acts and the statements of their politicians are inherently genocidal, and perhaps the most masterful work within the whole thing was when they played TikToks of Israeli soldiers clearly interpreting the genocidal statements of Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, if you are someone who was on the fence about what Israel is doing, you should watch what South Africa was saying here, because they're not saying anything new or anything unbelievable. People have been saying Israel is guilty of genocide since pretty much the first days after October the 7th. However, the way that this has been put, the amount of evidence that they have, should push this in the mind of any rational thinker over the line of categorically being a genocide. However, in spite of the fantastic job that South Africa has done, I am not filled with a massive amount of hope, because the judges at the International Court of Justice will not vote on the basis of merit of the case, but rather wider geopolitical aims. So countries like America are never going to vote in support of South Africa, and then you have judges from countries like Russia who may worry that supporting the South African case is a worrying precedent for them, because they have also been accused of the crime of genocide by the International Court of Justice. But, regardless of what this court rules, I believe that South Africa's case is so strong that one day Israel will be found guilty of the crime of genocide. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will happen. And those who aided and abetted Israel in this disgusting crime, from Western politicians to the average everyday person who has used their social media to advocate for it, they will pay the price for their crimes.